Hello, and welcome to another edition of Delta Media Group's Tech Tuesday. So, this week, we're running into a little technical difficulty this morning because Facebook wanted to be less than cooperative. So we're, a few seconds late? We're not bad today. I've been later than this before. So, anywho, what we're going to do is go into the DeltaNet and go over look at this, more technical difficulties this morning. Just nothing's working for us today. All right, we're going to try something. It's not looking good today. All right, well, here's our plans for today. The idea is that we're going to go over how to set up mailing labels and how to set up customer groups, because that kind of goes hand in hand with the mailing label stuff. But we're going to have to see how we can get my screen on your screen so that you can see it, because right now we've got a big black box right here, and that's hardly ideal, right? So we go in here. We're going to give it a shot, and we're going to drop out our plug here and plug it back in and see how it goes, because rule number one of any kind of tech support is to unplug it and plug it back in and see if it works. Rule number two is to hit it. So there it is. See that? What did I tell you? Unplug it and plug it back in. All right, so now that we can see the DeltaNet, let's go on in, shall we? Worked like a champ. Look at that. All right, so let's go into our customer center. So here we are on our welcome page that everyone is accustomed to. Now if we go down to customers and customer center, here we are on our main customer center page. So from here, first we'll go over creating groups, and then from there we'll go over printing labels, because you print labels from groups basically. So in order to create a group, and the reason you would do this would be the groups can be used for anything from just organizing your customers so that you know where to find people, to segmented email marketing. And the idea is you'll break groups up by specific areas or specific demographics and then market to those demographics in different ways. So to create a group, we're going to go down here and click on Add New Group. We'll give the group a name. I have a bunch of test groups, so we'll make another one. Test group. Add new group. So there we are. So that adds a group. It drops them all in alphabetical order in our customer groups list. So here we have our test group, and you can see right now this 0 indicates that there's nobody in it. If we click View, we'll see the same thing. Right now there's no one in there. So if you want to add people to your group, you click on the Edit button here, and here is your full list of customers. So from this, you can narrow this list down by just typing in a customer's name. It'll narrow it down to just that customer. You put a check mark next to them, and that will put them in the group. Now, before saving it, you can actually go through and add multiple group members here. So I can type in another one, or I can delete that, and I can just run through my list and add them one at a time if I want. And then when I click Save, everyone that I check marked will now be in that group. So you'll see test group now has 5 members in it. If I click on View, those are all the members of that group. So simple as that. If you want to delete the group, you can just click this delete button over here on the right. Something significant about this is that, first off, you can have the same customer in more than one group. So you can have a customer that matches a certain demographic but also lives in a certain area. So you want to market to them when you're marketing to that area, and you want to market to them when you're marketing to that demographic. That customer can be a member of more than one group. It's just how you can keep your customers organized that way. And if you delete a group, it doesn't delete the customers in the group. All it deletes is the association with that group. So I have those 5 customers in there. I'll click on Delete and confirm it. Now that group is gone, but all those customers are still in the system. They're just not in that group anymore because the group no longer exists. All right, so the other thing you can do with groups, and we'll do this real quick, is when you import customers, you can import them directly to a group. So if you're going from a third-party system, I can click on import and import. Now we have another video for importing contacts, so I'll just go through this kind of quick. There we go. So we can upload our file here, and we would map out all of our fields, but like I said, we go over that in that video. But then once we're here, we have a selected group option. So from here, if you're importing from another source and you have groups already set up there, the best way to do it is to export your file from your third-party CRM into a CSV file specific to each group, so that everyone you import, you're importing directly to the same group name. So now I can select from my groups here, or I can create a new group here and give it a name, and then it'll import all the contacts in this CSV file directly to that group. So that is a handy feature to get everything grouped together like that. Another thing is, if you are importing customers that are already in your database, it won't import them again because you can't have two instances of the same customer, but it will add the group association here. So let's say you imported a big list of customers and you imported them without putting them in any groups. And then after you did it, you said, well, the first 50 of these customers should be in this group. You can import those first 50 again, so you would just create a new file that just has those 50 in it. You'd go through this import process and then select a group here. And then when you import, it'll add those 50 customers to that group. So it won't add them again, but it'll put them in the group for you. All right, so now the significance of creating a group, or the other part of the significance, is how you can print mailing labels. So for mailing labels, all you do is when you add the customers, you make sure to add in their address. And as an example, I have a test seller here, and this is the address I filled in for this customer. So in order to print out labels for this customer, what you would do is create a group that contains all of the customers that you want mailing labels for. So I went ahead and created one ahead of time, and I just named it label group. And you can see we have a labels button here. So if I view this group, these are the customers I added to this group, and I added these customers because I have addresses entered for all of them. And now if I just click on labels, I'll select the label type I want, and I'm not going to lie to you, these numbers don't mean a whole lot to me. I assume it's like a type of print sheet with stickers on it. I don't know a lot about actual mailing labels. But you select the one that matches the type of mailing labels you want to print, and then you click print labels, and there it is. Generates this file that's ready to print, and then you just print it on your mailing label paper, and you should just be able to, like I said, I believe these will print on stickers, and you just take the stickers off and stick them to your envelopes, and there you go. Go ahead and pick another one. And you can see it automatically reformats for how those labels are supposed to be laid out on the sheet you print them on. So there you go. That is all there is to it. You now see how to create and organize groups in the DeltaNet, and you see how to print labels from those groups. So as always, thank you for joining me. A little bit of a hiccup there at the beginning, but for the most part, we're doing all right. I think we recovered nicely, right? So if you have any suggestions for new videos, feel free to leave a comment on this video, send an email into support@deltagroup.com, or give us a call if there's anything you need. So have a good week, and see you next week.